So, Mr. Mustafa, it's been a while.
Hello there. I know. How are you doing?
All good, all good. Some say it.
Good.
Some even say it might have been more than a speeding bullet.
I swear to God. I swear to God. For those who don't know, this guy has an obsession with bullets and how fast they go. All right. Every time it's like you are faster than a speeding bullet.
No. I never say you are faster than a speeding bullet. I never say this. Correct it.
Your program is faster than a speeding bullet.
I never compare speeding bullets with speed.
Right.
Like, you are smarter than a speeding bullet.
Of course.
This is something. This is something I might say. So, are you smarter than a speeding bullet, Mr. Mustafa?
I think so. I
You know,
I think so.
The weird thing about this thing in particular, can you still see me?
I can still see you.
Okay. So I cannot see you and I cannot see anything. I don't know what happened, but
technical difficulties. It's fine.
Technically, yeah, it happens. They happen all the time. So anyway, the weird thing about this speeding bullet thing, like whenever one of my students do something smart, I tell him, "Oh man, you are much smarter than a speeding bullet," and they take it as a compliment first, and then, is this a compliment? Like, is this a good thing? Like, was I dumber than a speeding bullet before? Like, this is
yes, they were.
And now they are smarter than speeding bullet. What?
Of course. What's the other thing you say? There's something else stupid. Let's not do that.
Yeah, let's not talk about this one. And, it's probably a false memory of mine of me playing Age of Mythology and hearing
Age of Empires.
I'm not sure if it was Age of Empires or Age of Mythology. Like, I need to replay to remember who says this. But in my memory, it was Age of Mythology. And like, it has been in my memory for like the Greek peasant. When you select her, she says, Hara al-Berak, like something like this. The issue is like one of my students actually went and downloaded the entire sound of Age of Mythology just to check if someone says this, and he didn't find it. So maybe it's a false memory. Maybe it's something I made up as a child. Or maybe it's another game. Like, who knows?
Yeah. When me and my friend, we play Age of Empires, the entire conversation is what peasants say. Me and him, they just repeat what the peasants are saying to the entire match.
Huh?
It's, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
This guy is a longbow spammer. Like, he just rush longbows and that's it. He only plays England.
I mean, it's the default, and I'm too lazy to learn other factions. So.
Well, for me personally, whenever I play like any games that has multiplayer elements in it, whether local multiplayer, global multiplayer, it doesn't matter what I choose. I'm going to lose. I don't have the reflexes. Like, I'm clumsy by nature. Like, I move and hit things all the time. Like, you don't think this clumsiness will translate into games? It does.
I mean, you don't need really that fast of actions per minute to win video games, strategy games.
Back in 2003, 2013 or 2014, something like this, I got into playing Dota 2. And the reason I got into playing Dota 2 is something really weird. Like, I even bought some things in Dota 2. Not because I enjoy Dota 2. I enjoyed it. Like, it was a fun game and I enjoyed watching people playing it. But because back then, Valve started the Linux gaming revolution. And one of the first things they released was Dota 2. So it's like, I'm a Linux gamer. And, back then there was nothing called Linux gaming. But, like, Valve was trying to do something and I needed to support them. How else can I support them other than playing their games that I'm really bad at? And I never got out of the potato rank. Like, I'm that bad. And like, you know, I'm the kind of guy who got reported all the time in the end of the game because I was not listening to chat. I was not checking my minimap or whatever. This is the thing. When I'm focused on one thing, it's really hard for me to focus on other things. Like, I don't know how Twitch streamers do it. Like, reading chat while playing games. Like, no. Like, I just, one small thing.
One thing at a time.
And this man has been translated into the online learning and online teaching thing where some of my students like decide we are going to use chat to communicate with me. Like, actually, I got better at it at the end, but I'm still very bad at it. Like, I can't just. Let's just use voice.
You should upgrade your CPU to have more than one core.
Would it?
Yes. Yes. Yes, it would.
Knowing me, if I have more than one resource to allocate to something, like all of the resources will be allocated to the same thing anyway. Like it doesn't matter.
Ah, I see. All right. So you're like the perfect scale for multi-threading. Let's have all the rendering on all the cores, all at once, all the physics and all the cores, everything. All right, lovely.
And I have some good news. I think I finally got rid of my phobia.
Of spiders?
No. Of microphones.
You had a phobia of microphones?
I didn't, but according to you, I did. Whenever I go to an event.
Right. Okay, so for those who don't know, anytime we go to an event, whatever event it is, and we're talking and we need to talk to the crowd, you need the microphone, right? This guy has an issue with microphones. He holds a microphone, he tries to speak with it. It doesn't work for a few split seconds because the audio guys are probably turning it on, and he's like, you know what? Fuck the microphone. Hi guys, how you doing?
I have a loud voice.
Use the microphone.
Why? Why waste my loud voice? Why waste one of my biggest talents having a loud voice?
Oh my god.
You know, did you watch Dilbert, the Dilbert series or the Dilbert comics?
No.
You should. They're engineering related thing. They had this guy called Loud Howard who would just shout at everyone. Howard. I am Loud Howard.
Let's see, what is this? What is it called?
Dilbert.
Huh. Alright,
it's a show about a bunch of engineers struggling with stupid management.
Ah, isn't that real life? Isn't that what already happens every day? They made a show about real life.
Yes.
Cool, got it.
This is why I'm telling you, you will enjoy it. It's a really good show. It's a very old show. Alright. It started as a comic and then spin-off show, and then it turned back to being a comic. It didn't catch on because we are not that much.
Of course.
We are the minority. But anyway.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So, last
what
episode.
What are we talking about today? Yeah, what did we end on last episode? I don't remember.
Okay, so last episode we were talking about our beginnings, right? And we talked a little bit about teaching and things like this. But this is not what I want to talk about in last episode.
All right.
Okay, for everyone watching this, it will probably be a week between this episode and the next one. But for us, it has been more than a month.
It's been a month, yeah. It's been a while. So, busy lives, man.
A lot of things happened. First of all, this guy was super busy in the next week. Then I had to travel. I went hiking in Georgia. And for people who don't know me, I have huge back problems. I don't know how was this a good idea, or how did it pass through my filter to just go hiking in the mountains. But strangely enough, you know those sticks that people use to hike? Those things are awesome. Never in my life did I walk this much without feeling back pain. I didn't feel anything. It was
really?
I didn't even get tired. I'm considering just using this in real life.
In real life.
Man, this is...
Get a stick.
It's just two sticks. They are tilted a little bit so that you can hold them like this, not like this.
Yeah.
And you just keep walking like this while sticking them in the mud or things like this so that you don't fall. But they offer enough support for me to not suffer while walking. Well, I'm suffering from engineer's problem, which is lower back pain because we use our laptop a lot. And at the same time, tall people problem, which is lower back pain because we have to go down a little bit to do anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Life is hard.
And this is why anyone who's having back problem, get something to raise your laptop with, an external keyboard and mouse. Don't just
it's called a standing desk.
Or get a standing desk. A very expensive standing desk like the one this guy.
Very expensive. $1,200 standing desk.
Yes. Or get
$1,000. $800. Yeah, $800.
It's a good investment if you're having back issues, but it was... I don't think my back is worth $1,200. Who knows?
I'm pretty sure your back is worth way more than $1,200.
Thank you, man.
Yes. Yeah. Who abused you, fucker?
I was told my back is worthless by multiple doctors.
No, it.
Worthless as in like there is.
Yeah.
What have you been doing to this thing? But
Poor back.
yeah, it's getting better. It's getting better. Once I started raising every screen I have and
Yeah.
having a good chair, things are much better now.
Yes. I mean, there's nothing better investment rather than a good desk, more than a good desk and a good chair, because you're using those every single day. You're on them 24/7, literally.
Especially if you're working from home.
Yeah. So they're important.
They are. And I agree, if I didn't like already have a very good desk, I would get a standing desk.
You have a horrible desk. You have like a $50 desk. $100 desk.
Let's
Let's
just put it. Let's say 100. Let's say 100.
say $100. Okay, cool.
And I'm going to make my own desk back in my home in Egypt. Like I'm going to buy wood and assemble it.
Nice.
Should be fun. And maybe I can get a motor and make it a standing and sitting desk.
I see.
Anyway.
All right.
Well, I think enough personal things, or should we? Yeah, let's just get into the topic of today.
Oh, I see you turned on the AC. I could tell.
You can tell from my
We can tell
background.
from two things, from the audio and from the background.
It sends audio. Okay, this is bad.
Yeah, it stopped now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it was there for like 10 seconds, 5 seconds.
Good.
Yeah.
So,
All right, what are we talking about?
okay, so today I want us to talk about like how can we stay productive? Like, what do you do to stay productive? Like, what is your rituals and what can you do? What advice can you give to others if they want to be a productive developer or a productive game programmer? Like, how do you manage your project? How do you manage your thing? And most important of all, how do you say no?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You are struggling with the same thing.
I have never said no to anything in my entire life.
It's super hard. Like, why is it so
really
hard to say
is.
no? Like,
I don't know. Hey, can you do this project for $1 million? Yes. Can you do this project for free? Yes. Can you do this project while doing 4 other projects? Yes.
and you know what the issue is? Like, for me personally, like, I have multiple mental breakdowns because of the amount of things I was doing at once, and I never learned.
I can relate.
Like,
I can relate.
the issue is like, I don't know how to say it. Like, it's really hard, man. Like, I've been saying it lately. Like, I decided to say no more. Like, say, but I'm not just saying no. I'm not going to do it. Like, I have to jump around in hoops to find reasons to not doing it. When in reality, the reason which should be an acceptable reason, like, I can't. Like, I have other things. Like,
yeah.
And not just other things like in projects. Like, sometimes it's just life. Like, I have a life.
I know. What? Wait, hold on. How does that work? People have lives? When does that happen?
It's easy.
I thought
actually.
it's... How?
Really easy.
Teach me.
Okay, so you start by breathing in,
Okay.
holding it a little bit, keep holding it, a little bit more. This is how you lose your life, I think, not getting a life. But you start by breathing, eating, and that's it. You have a life. That's a good life. It really depends on your definition of good. No, you can't change your definition. This is something I learned.
All right.
Like, I'm struggling because I'm wasting a lot of time at work. Maybe this is what I want to do. And let's face it, like, at least, like, for me, I think I'm a little bit of a workaholic who doesn't really like work.
Me too. I mean, sort of. But how does that work? How are you a workaholic that doesn't like work? How does that work?
Okay.
Explain.
So, when you have this important things that you need to finish?
Right.
This is work, right? You need to finish it. Like, you need to finish it to get food at the end of the month. So you need to finish it because you need to finish it. Like, it's something very important to you.
Mm-hmm.
This is what is considered work, right?
Right.
Okay. So let's put this on the side a little bit and talk about this other project, this other product, this other thing that you will work on and spend a lot of time on.
Right.
And you're not supposed to. If
Of
this makes
course.
sense. So you'll have a lot of work responsibilities, like a lot of things that have deadlines, things like the master submission. And then you have this side project that you started in 2003. And still somehow...
Hey, it's time to revive it.
Yes. It's been a while since I worked in this project. Maybe it's time I open it again and finish it.
I have a deadline next week, but you know what? The project from 2003, it takes priority.
No, man, not next week. I have a deadline tomorrow. So this project from 2003 is way higher priority, man.
Of course, definitely.
You have no idea how many projects I revived. And I'm the one who is like, always say, kill your babies.
You're a wizard.
Yeah, I killed a lot of babies and I keep reviving them all the time. Like I had, and by the way, like anyone listening who doesn't know what kill your babies mean, it's just kill your ideas, kill your pet projects, not go and kill actual babies. Don't kill actual babies. Like,
I mean, if you want, I guess you could go. No, all right.
Well, you can do it, but you will suffer the consequences. Like, not everything. And why would you want it?
I don't know. People are messed up.
Don't kill real people, real babies. Kill your ideas. Kill your pet projects. Kill your mind babies. If this makes sense. So I'm an advocate for this, and every time I tell this to my students, it's like they just, what did you just say? And sometimes they put it in quotes and things like this.
Yeah.
But there's another thing I say: cannibalize your babies.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Yes. And by cannibalize your babies, I mean like you have an old project that you are not going to pursue because you already killed it. But there is good work in this project that can be used in the next pet projects that you will never finish.
I do. See, this is a really cool thing that I learned, and I use that all the time. If I did a bunch of work for one project, I can just take that bunch of code and use it in a different project. And instead of taking 3 months, 5, 6 months, a year of development, now it takes like a month or 2 weeks. Because
assuming you had the foresight to actually develop this part of your code in a way to be reusable, right?
Well, you see, I always try to do that as much as possible.
Same. Like this is something that we all do, right? We try as much as possible to write clean code, as they say. Like let's follow the solid principles. Let's try to make everything single responsibility so that nothing can ever it can just be taken away and work on its own. Let's rely on abstraction, not rely on concrete implementation. We do this all the time, right?
People who hate object-oriented...
We have a deadline.
People who hate object-oriented programming are going to tune in and they're going to leave the stream because you're talking about the object-oriented programming. What's wrong with you, Bucker? It's evil. It's evil. The evil.
Well, you can do object-oriented programming still, even if you're using an object-oriented programming language like C. Like people use private variables in C.
Yes.
By not having them in the header files and having them in the implementation file.
This
way, this is a private variable, right?
Anyways, we're getting off topic.
Yes,
going back to
topic.
Okay. Yes. So how do you say no? I don't know.
Okay.
Can't help you there. For me, I started saying no if the pay is not enough for a certain thing, or if someone tells me, "Hey, I have an idea for a project. Okay, this is how much I charge. Are you gonna give me that?" No. All right. See ya. Take care.
Yeah, I have an idea for a project. This is something that I hate.
Yes. Those come out a lot.
Yes.
Hey, I have an app idea. Oh, I have a game idea. It's great.
Or an application idea, or any idea. Like what people don't realize, ideas are so fucking worthless.
They really are.
No one cares. Like we all have ideas. Everyone in existence have ideas. And you probably have a couple of those friends who would just say, I had the idea for Uber before Uber was a thing. Yes, every single person had this idea. It's not hard to think of an idea. Like
I never had an idea for an Uber before Uber came on. That was brilliant.
And you know, this thing where we want to create Uber for doctors, Uber for blah blah blah,
yes.
Uber for mobile phones, Uber
Yes.
for. Stop! Like, don't describe things as Uber for. Man, it just. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the
Anyways.
ways I actually use as well, like you said, like you talk about the pay, like I do this, like if there is a project that I really don't want, I'll just say, this is how much I'll take to do this project.
Yeah. Very much. Yeah.
Sometimes people say, okay. And then you think,
Yeah, exactly.
what am I going to do now? My exit strategy is ruined.
The exit strategy for asking money is ruined. Should have asked more money.
Like back in the company, we had a client that we just asked for like a big number because we thought he will never accept this big number. It doesn't make sense. And I was okay. I don't want to do this.
I really don't want to do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Saying
right.
no is hard, man.
Yes, it is. It really is.
Okay.
Okay. So the next thing.
What's
the next thing?
Should we stay on saying no a little bit more? I have some stories.
Sure. Oh, by all means, go for it.
Okay. So I'm getting better at saying no now. Like I have a notebook where I'm tracking my progress in saying no. Like
It's like a swear jar. You put $1 if you say no.
Not exactly. Like I'm setting a target for myself to say no to one thing every day.
Huh.
This one thing can be like
Interesting.
an idea that comes to mind. Like it doesn't have to be saying no to someone. Because man, oh man, like when you are working on one project, you get all kinds of ideas for other projects that are super easy, much easier than this project you are working on, and they will take no time.
Of course.
They will take way more time than you ever think. But
Yeah.
I try to say no to at least one of those. Like, and it's working. Like now, I'm actually saying no better. Like,
Okay.
I still have to come up with elaborate like explanation of why, even though like I don't have the time, is good enough. It is good enough.
Okay.
Just say I don't have the time. Time is limited. My time in this earth is limited, and I need it for other things.
Believe it or not, yes.
So,
Yeah.
but for some reason, my brain refuses to make this a valid excuse. Like, no, it's not. You have to explain in details why you have to say no. Even though I can't. I'm busy. I'm sick. Like I have back problems and I don't want to be sitting in front of my laptop for an extra 3 hours because I can't just say no. So this saying no to one thing method is actually helping me a lot. And I'm tracking it like every day. If I say no to one thing, I mark as half complete task. If I say no to more than one thing, it's a full day. So
how many no's have you said? When did you start this?
I started this around 2 months ago, something like this.
And so far, how many times have you said no?
To myself or to others?
Both. Do you keep track of both or separate?
Yes, like it's for me it's the same thing. Like I'm not taking track of this as a different thing, and I should. Like my plan for this quarter is to start tracking it, like because I'm doing the tracking every quarter. Like every quarter, I'm changing what I'm tracking.
Oh, every physical quarter, nice.
Yes. So actually, this is working really nicely for me. Like I just set a target, like objectives. And those objectives are measurable, like concrete, measurable objectives. And I'm just giving myself a mark at the end of every day of how further I am in this objective. And this objective serves a goal in the end of the physical quarter. So,
all right.
So I'm going to change my objectives this month.
How many times have you said no?
No, every day at least once. Like this is a minimum.
In total, I mean, you're keeping track, no?
Yes, but okay. Let me show you how I keep track.
All right, by all means, I would love to see that.
This is how I keep track.
What in God's green earth is this?
So there is no really way to count it. Like it just.
Okay.
Well,
so... what notebook do you have? What is this?
Okay, so let me explain. Do you know the theme system?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to put a link to a video explaining the theme system in the description of this video.
Okay.
But meanwhile, maybe you should start watching it.
Okay.
I will send you a link that explains the entire thing.
Sure.
And man, this thing has been helping me answering my emails in time, because I struggled with this a lot. Like, I struggled with responding to people even on WhatsApp. Like, and man, this was causing me tons of anxiety. Not responding to people was just making me feel anxious all the time. And now I started tracking it. Like, tracking works wonder, man.
I'm the opposite way. I have a very limited amount of people interaction that I can do in a day. And if I hit that limit, I just stop. And that limit is very low. It's like 5 people. I can respond to 5 emails plus WhatsApp messages. If I go to above 5, I'm done. That's it. I'm not responding to your email.
And this is one thing, like, not responding, like, it's hard. Like, for me, it's causing me anxiety because I'm not responding to people. And it was driving me crazy to the degree that I actually canceled all my social media accounts and all my way of communicating. Like, no one can contact me except using a phone. Direct call me.
Honestly, it's for the best. Social media is garbage. Yeah. Fuck social media.
But not just social media, even chat apps. Like, I closed everything because I'm not responding to anyone and it's driving me crazy. So I'll just close it.
Do you order this notebook? It's CGP Gary.
Yes.
Is this notebook he designed or just generic notebook?
Yes. He designed with a friend of his. Like, they worked on it together.
Nice.
But the way he is doing it, like, just if you don't want to buy this notebook, just print it. Like, I already explained everything and go and do it.
Nice.
And
okay. I like
by
this.
the way, this is not his notebook. This is like something I got from Amazon. That's not sold by him, but it's much cheaper.
I see. His notebook is going for $25. Plus shipping, probably another 25.
Yeah. The issue is, like, shipping is the same cost as the thing. But basically, like, forget about the notebook. He's explaining the system itself, where he's tracking things.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm saying no more now.
I see.
Even though it's hard, but I am. Yes. We're going to talk about other points, and I totally forgot, and we got sidetracked to the no train.
It's okay. Okay. So what's the other thing?
Okay, we're talking about productivity today, right? How can you keep yourself productive? And we started by talking about saying no to other projects, right? Saying no to things, like, stop adding extra stuff to what you already have, right?
Yes.
Now, what you already have, how do you manage it? Like, how do you manage what you already have?
Okay, well, here's the thing. It becomes much easier to do the work if you like the work. If you hate the work, then I cannot help you, right? What I have right now is, usually what I do is I dedicate sections of the week to certain things. Okay. So for example, I say Monday, Tuesday is my teaching days. I spend all day teaching. I'm done with that. Wednesday, Thursday is my full-time job. Friday, Saturday is my master's degree, and so on and so forth. Now, this has been, working a little bit, for the most part. For example, for my master's degree, I am in week 6 so far. It's a 12-week unit. I'm in week 6. I've done 0 work, so I am doing 6 weeks worth of work this week, and I'm finishing that.
Isn't this the way you're supposed to study?
I mean, that's how I know how to study. We do it at the last minute.
I never learned any other method. Like,
it's the bad way of doing it.
Actually, I'm a very bad influence when it comes to studying. Like,
oh my god,
a lot of my friends who were like really into studying, and they just spend a lot of time with me, and then, like, one of my dear friends actually told me once, like, we were studying together for something, like, man, staying with you made me forget how to study. Like, how did I used to do it? Like, this is weird.
What, do you distract them with playing video games or going out?
No, I don't even do this. Like, I just feel the guilt.
I see.
When you are trying to do something that is very, very important and you don't do it, but you're not really enjoying your time by doing something else. You are just feeling guilt because you're not doing it. Like,
right.
Let's say if I want to do something, I want to play a game. Now I'm going to feel guilt while playing this game because I'm supposed to be working, right? What actually worked for me a little bit for this, like reducing the guilt, is just there is the time for other things. Like this is the time for the other thing. Stop thinking, like stop half working. Like sometimes I would play Civilization while working on a project and just one turn and then go and work and then another turn and then go and work.
No, honestly, that's how I do it.
No, man.
For the most part, it's bad. It's very bad because you see, you spend a lot of time doing half-ass work and half-ass gaming, and you don't enjoy either. Exactly. And it's like,
and it just you end up with the guilt. So I just stop doing this. If I'm going to play something, it's time dedicated to play something. Like I'm not going to say I'm going to play from this to this. Like I'm not going to do this, but I just go with the mentality. I'm not working.
See, here's the thing. For programming tasks, I don't know. Have you heard of the flow before?
Yes.
Okay. So when I have a programming task, the hardest part, if it's a task I don't like, the hardest part is starting, and it's really is with everything. Whether you want to go to the gym, you want to program, you want to do work, you want to study, the most difficult, unbelievably difficult part is the start. But once you start and you get in the flow, that's it. You're in. Yeah, you're like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours doing it straight.
How do you handle distraction?
I don't know.
Because usually when you get into this flow, like you cannot count on the flow, like getting into the flow, because you'll be distracted. Like one of the things that I realized, like downed my productivity a lot in my previous job. I used to do like whatever this job is, like my previous full-time job, my productivity was going down mainly because of the compile time every time I changed something. Like they had a huge project, and whenever you change something and you want to test it, like you have to wait for maybe 20 seconds. This breaks your flow. Like
that,
usually, like I try to do a lot of things, like I try to finish the entire thing and then test in the end, like finish the entire script or finish the entire class or finish the entire thing and then test it. But the issue is once you start debugging or once you start trying to figure out why this behavior that you didn't intend is happening, now every time you hit compile, you just... And this will result in you doing... and if someone is listening to the audio, I was just putting my hand on my cheek and waiting. So I'm waiting. Super easy to get distracted while waiting.
It is.
While I'm waiting, why don't I just check this Reddit front page? While I'm waiting, why don't I just play this turn of Civilization? While I'm waiting, why don't I just watch this YouTube shorts or YouTube video or whatever?
Yeah.
It's a small thing. Like I'm waiting anyway, I'm not doing anything, and you're out of the flow.
Right, that's true.
And this is the issue with half working, like half working and half doing something else. And it's really, really hard because of interruptions, which will happen. Like, especially as a programmer, you are going to be interrupted a lot, not just by other people. Like, this is something else entirely and way more annoying than waiting for the compiler. But sometimes your engine crashing, your entire operating system crashing, like it's weird.
I know, I agree. So if I want to get to programming, I need to make sure that, hey, my phone is on silent. I need to make sure I just close whatever chat apps I have open. Just focus on the task. Try finish the task. The problem is, if the task is too short, if it's like a 5-minute task or a 10-minute task and I finish it, now I need to go take a break. And the
because
break
you finished the
could
task,
be like
right?
because
you deserve a break after this 1 minute of work.
Of course. So 1 minute of work, 40 minutes of break, which is an issue. So I try to be like, okay, today I want to finish those 5 tasks. This is my goal. And if I finish task, I will set a timer. I'll say, okay, this is 5 minutes. 5 minutes, that's it. That's all I get. And I go to the next one, and so on and so forth. That helped. A lot.
This helps.
Yeah.
What helped me is actually tracking the time I'm actually working.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm working on something, I have a timer. You know, one of those freelancer thing, like where if the client want to know how many hours you made or something like this, I just have an application called Toggle. I'll put a link in the description as well. It's a free app. And whenever I start working, I just press play. And sometimes I describe the project or I select the project or select the task. And while I'm working, while I'm doing something, I'm doing it. And I'm trying to be as conscious about disabling it before I stop working.
Yeah.
And I started tracking this as well. Like my goal is to get, let's say, 4 hours of work in this project. Less than 4 hours is a lose. Like minimum 4 hour is a point. Getting more than 6 hours is 2 points. Things like this. So now I'm tracking and I'm self-aware about it. Like, and don't get me wrong, you are self-aware about it, and you are like diving in guilt about not doing, half-assing this project or not doing and getting enough into it. But actually tracking it and being self-aware about it will increase your productivity a little bit, especially with this gamified way of me gaining points when I do things or not do things. Like it just it works, right? So this is how I fixed it. But I like the way you fixed it as well. Like if I'm going to take a break after this small task, I will time it to be an exact thing with an alarm. So this makes you self-aware about it as well. Like it's also tracking, but differently. Okay. So this is how you handle distractions, right?
Yeah, essentially, just turn off really all apps. Just do the work, finish the work. When I'm done, just enjoy my day. Anything else?
Speaking of enjoying
really?
your day, have you considered getting Stray, the game?
I did get Stray.
Did
I
you
already
start
have
it?
it. No, I did not yet.
Will you start it? Or you will have it like all the other 1,000 games that you have and never started?
You know what? I am starting it tonight.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm considering starting it tomorrow because I can.
It looks really fun. Very relaxing game. Very relaxing game.
There is an M.
Yeah, it looks fun. There's an M. Yeah.
And it's a small game, and this is what I'm after now. I don't want something to just suck me and never come out of it.
Yeah, I hate games that are 40, 80 hours. Like, man, I don't have the time. I'm gonna get bored after like the 10-hour mark. Why don't people make short games? I don't understand.
You know the game It Takes Two, Game of the Year last year?
Love it. Best game ever.
It's awesome, but it doesn't end. Like, just end already. And like,
I know.
Every level is just new game mechanics.
I know. I know.
How did you manage to do all of this? Like,
there is such a thing as too long of a game.
I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong, but I don't have the time and I want to finish it.
I know. I know.
I'm trying to add more things to finish in my life now. Because I have a lot of projects unfinished. So maybe a game should be finished.
Yeah. When I go to my Steam library, I look for the shortest game to try and play. Like, okay, I don't want this to be an 8-hour game. Just give me 4 hours, 6-hour game, 2 hours. Just want to finish something. I have 2 hours of free time. I want to finish a game in 2 hours and be done. It is so hard to find that game. God, so annoying.
Okay. So this is how we handle distractions, right? This is how you say no to projects. Say no to drugs. And
so no to drugs, definitely, yes. And projects.
And clients, yes. Say no to clients.
And clients, definitely say no to clients.
Even if they are good paying clients, sometimes like you are missing an opportunity to allow yourself to have other better opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Not every opportunity must be pursued.
True.
And I'm telling myself this. Like, hey, don't pursue everything. I can't stress how much important it is to say no. Especially in this time and age when it's really hard because you're working from home. Like, I can fit it in. Anyway, so let's continue about productivity. Like, how do you manage your time? Like, I know you do like multiple jobs, and I used to do multiple jobs as well.
Yep.
So how do you handle it? You said you handle it, like days.
Yeah,
right?
have a bunch of days, specify for one thing, be done with it, don't bother with it anymore, and then focus on the next thing and focus on the next thing, really. So right now, have I mentioned I think we talked about what we're doing right now, like what jobs and projects we're working on?
In this podcast.
We didn't? Yes. Okay. So, all right, so right now, I am working as a part-time lecturer. I teach game development, software engineering, things like that. So that's part-time. I am doing a full-time job as a lead game Unreal developer. So that's take most of my time. I have 2 clients that I am doing work for, and I have a master's degree. So the good thing before, like 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I would not be able to handle all that workload on my own. But the cool thing now is because I have written software for the past 10 years, I can cannibalize my other projects and use them for the client.
This is legal
Yes,
cannibalism.
of course.
Like, this is not
Of
actual
course.
cannibalism. This is just cannibalizing code and assets, right? Just to be clear, like, don't cancel us.
Yep.
We are not proof cannibalism. Okay.
And don't worry, the copyright for the source code is mine. It's my source code.
Yeah.
I didn't use it for a different client. Like, I didn't write code on a client time and I used it for another client. Don't worry, it's my work. Do it on my own time. But yeah, so doing all that, and yeah, the way I handle it, just spend section of the week doing things. I don't have weekends because I like my job. The other thing that really helps is going outside of the house. Like, you might not be able to do it or afford it, but just what is the point of a remote job if you're gonna work from home the entire time? Man, the other day I went to the beach, spent the entire day at the beach. The other day I went to a restaurant, spent the entire day at a restaurant
just
working.
to be clear, you are not staying at the beach to stay at the
Yeah,
beach. You are working at the beach. Right?
Yeah, I have a laptop and I'm working on the beach.
What about your back, man? What about your back?
What? My back is completely fine. Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay, so you don't have the same issues because
I don't
for
have
me,
back
like, I
issues.
cannot work outside of my home anymore. Like, I just have my
Really?
setup. Like, I have my screen raiser, I have my desk, I have my multiple monitors,
See.
I have my keyboards, like, and
Thankfully.
getting all of this with me everywhere, like, I can't imagine that I'll go with my desk to the beach. I don't think this will work.
I see.
I tried actually doing this. Like, I went once and I worked like in a cafe in the beach. It was
Yeah.
fun and I really enjoyed doing it, but my back didn't.
Okay.
My lower back
That
didn't
makes
enjoy it one bit
Yeah.
because like it's conspiracy theory time. I think restaurants are designed to not be comfortable by design, so that you don't stay for long.
Oh. Should
What
go
would
to a
it
very
take to
expensive.
have comfortable seats? Like, they have something that looks comfortable. Like, they care about the look.
It's not.
It looks
Yeah.
comfy and it looks awesome, or it looks classy, or it looks modern, or whatever.
Yeah. Sit on it
Is
and
it?
you're like,
No.
I'm done.
Especially
Yeah,
if you
no, I know what
you
you
have your
mean.
laptop on your desk in front on the not the desk table in front of you.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
See, this is why in my backpack, when I go, there's like a small like table riser that I can fold, and I can just put it on the desk and put my laptop on it. And so it
I'm
raises.
going to do this.
Yeah.
Now that I
It's
know about
awesome.
this, I'm
It's
and
pretty
I'll
cool.
take my
Yeah.
keyboard because if the laptop
Yeah.
is resin, like, I still need
Yeah.
keyboard and mouse.
Dude, I have you see my backpack. For those who don't know, I have a backpack that's like a suitcase. It's a really large backpack. So here's my setup. Okay, so this is really cool. So I have my home setup, right? I have my 3 monitors, I have my desktop, my go up and down desk. It's fantastic, right? But when I go out, I am prepared for anything, okay? In my backpack, I have my 3 laptops. Now you might ask, why do you need 3 laptops? Well, one is my Razer Blade. I use it for game development, use it for anything like serious, requires a lot of performance. I have my Apple laptop when I want to build for iOS, and it's what I use for the most of the time when I like do app development and like software development that's not games. And I have my 3rd laptop, which is a Linux laptop that I use when I need to do Linux stuff. So, purpose built. I have my Android phone and iPhone that
For building.
test devices, right? Of course. And I have my normal phone for my normal phone that I use every day. I have a router, a switch in my backpack. I have like 5 Ethernet cables just in case I need to hook up multiple computers with my router and switch. I have a mobile like hotspot all the time, anywhere where I go. I have everything. HDMI cable. Thunderbolt.
Yeah, one day I was like, I wanted a cable, and you gave me like a 3-meter cable, like a 3-meter USB to USB Type C cable. Like, why do you have a 3-meter one?
The downside is my back is like, fuck you. my backpack is like 40 kilos.
And you don't have to carry it around, like you will be driving or in a car or something.
For the most part, yeah.
For the most part, yeah. Man, don't get me started about Linux and Mac and things like this, because this is something that most people don't know about me now. I'm now a Mac user.
Somehow. That's good.
No, man, that's not good. Man. I used to be a Linux elitist. Like, I would not even touch Windows. Like, and I would just make fun of people using Windows. And then I tested Visual Studio. I flew too close to the sun to go back to not using Visual Studio. And it's like...
Which, code or community?
No. Visual Studio Community.
Okay.
It was Visual Studio Community, I think 2014. Something like this.
Yeah.
I tested it and I was like, what am I doing with my life? Like, how was I using other things? And I kept using it and it's like... And now I cannot leave Windows. Like, I used to have Windows dual booted with Linux.
Yeah.
Windows for development and Linux for everything else. But everything else is actually development or browsing. Like, and games is better in Windows anyway. So it's like I get sucked into the Windows ecosystem, and I spent a lot of time in Windows. And then like I have a Windows laptop, but I got one of the new Mac M1 Pro Max laptop. Whatever. And like it seems
you
like
got
I
the
have
16
seen the
inch.
light. Now it's like every time I touch the keyboard of my other laptop or like I look at the screen, I feel disgusted. And not just this, it's much slower. Like my Windows, because I didn't get a high end of the high end. My method of buying things is I buy the first things that can do what I wanted to do. So I got the minimum requirement for VR development. This is my laptop.
Okay.
Now,
all right.
You might say you are a VR developer.
This is your Linux laptop.
This is my Windows laptop. Yeah.
Windows laptop. Yes. Okay.
So I'm a VR developer. I do a lot of VR development. This is my thing. Like even when I freelance projects, it's VR, right?
Okay.
And the issue is like with a Mac, you cannot really test VR things because it does not support VR.
With a Mac, you can't do jack shit. Mac is useless.
Apple is just no, we'll not support OpenGL or Vulkan. Use our thing.
Yeah.
Metal.
Yeah. Fuck
and
Apple.
Then Valve is like, why would you support Metal? Like, I go do something else. Like, and the same thing. Like, not just Valve, also like every single company. Like, I remember the Oculus CEO at one point. Like, someone asked him, when will you support Mac devices? And his answer is when Apple makes good laptops. Like this was his answer. Actually, they're making good laptops now, but
now they're making good laptops.
Now they're making awesome laptops. Like I'm hating it every time I use my Windows laptop because how slow is it?
Yeah.
So I started phasing out. When I'm doing VR things, I'm doing it in the Windows laptop. When I'm doing non-VR things, I'm doing it in the Mac laptop. And what I mean by VR things, I'm developing on my Mac laptop, pushing the changes, pulling them on my Windows laptop.
Yeah, that's the way.
For it to compile. Wait a lot for it to compile. And test. But once, like one by one, I just stopped testing. Like I already have been developing for VR since 2017. I know what will happen. Like I don't need to test everything. And I test by building. Like I no longer open my Windows laptop. Only when I want to like test something and edit it on runtime. Like if I want to make sure that the hand is aligned correctly with the controller or whatever. So for me, Windows is, I no longer use it. And looking back at my old self who was a Linux elitist, I hate myself. Like,
yes.
You know, it's like the meme, like, you're supposed to destroy the Dark Force, not join them. The dark side,
Listen,
I mean. So it's like, I joined the dark side. I'm a Mac user now. And the weird thing is, I'm actually considering to be an iPhone user now as well. Like, they just suck you with one thing.
No. Let's stop there. Okay,
I use a lot
Mac
of apps
is fine.
now that exist on Mac and iOS, and no Android version. It's like, why? Why don't you just cross-platform have been a thing for ages? Just develop for Android. And it's like, but I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm Android all the way. But I used to be Linux all the way. So this is
fuck Apple.
Sucks about it. But yeah,
Apple's shit. Okay, so here's the thing. I got started with Mac. I got my first Mac in my first job in 2018. All right. And so they got us MacBook Pro, top of the line for game development. Okay.
Mobile.
And for mobile game
Yes,
development.
just to be clear,
yes.
because it's the thing you
Yes.
need if you are going to go mobile because
Yeah.
of iOS.
It was one of the worst fucking laptops I have ever used in my entire life. It was hot all the time, even when you were not doing anything. That CPU was reaching 101 degrees all the time. It was loud. It was just slow. It was a terrible laptop. I got another Mac laptop in 2019 from a different job. Terrible. Every laptop before
You hated
2020
it.
has been absolutely trash.
And then you tried the M1. It's
And
like,
then I the M1. Oh my god, it is a godsend. 99% of the time I'm using my Mac.
and you have
If
a very powerful PC.
I have an
have a
extremely
Threadripper?
powerful PC. I have a Threadripper. I have an
And-
amazing laptop, a Razer laptop, but I use it's so good, dude. You take it, you can work on it for 18 hours without charging it. You don't have to plug it in to get the full performance. It doesn't get hot. You can put it on your lap while not burning your entire body. It's just amazing, and it's just so fast. It is so goddamn fast. Apple, thank you so fucking much for ditching Intel. Like, holy shit, you should have done that years ago.
Now I'm waiting
Holy
for Windows on ARM or Linux on ARM to catch. And by the way, I'm ditching the Mac ecosystem. Once the guy at Asahi Linux releases something with a graphic driver, I'm ditching it and I'm going back to Linux again. Because I no longer use Visual Studio since I moved to the Mac because I moved to the Mac because of my previous job. Like they required me to use Mac.
Right.
And they got me a license for Rider. And after testing
Okay.
Rider, how have I been using Visual Studio?
Okay,
you know-
shut the fuck up. Okay, no,
No,
stop.
man.
Okay.
You haven't tested Rider. It sucks.
It can't
at first.
be that good.
No, it's not as good at the beginning. Like I hated it for the first 3 weeks. But it's super integrated with everything. And it's super integrated with Unity. Like you can pause and play Unity from within the thing. You can
Man, don't you
control
have to
everything.
like
It gives you references to assets. Like it's telling you this script is used in this asset, in this scene.
Do-
Like it's
don't
just
you
doing
like-
magic, man.
don't you have to like download like 6 Rider IDEs for like one for Android, one for iOS, one for
Well, if
Or-
you're doing like, let's say, C# Unity development, you just need Rider. If you are doing Android Java, you need Android Studio. If you are doing Java, you just get the JetBrains one. Like they have something for each ecosystem. Like
they have everything, one thing for everything.
they have like currently you are using Unreal
Yeah.
and C++, right? They have a C++ editor called C Lion, I think.
Get
And
11
I tried C
IDEs.
Lion before. And the thing is, this is not my first time doing JetBrains. Like I used to use PHP Storm back in 2011.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Like I really loved it. I hated moving away from it. Like, well, I didn't because
Yeah.
I loved moving away from PHP. It was the best decision I ever did. Anyone using PHP? No offense. Like maybe PHP is much better now. 2011, it was not.
Fuck PHP. PHP is trash.
They say it's much better now. Like it's a modern language now. But
Good
anyway,
for them.
let's get back to topic because I have to leave.
$250 a year?
It's expensive.
For
It is expensive.
what? It's a subscription too?
No. It's half a subscription. Like, if you don't renew, you'll still has the same version. You'll just not get updates. It's subscription if you
I
want
don't
to
know, man.
stay updated. Like that's it.
Is it worth?
So my current subscription, it will end at the end of the year, and when it ends, I will still have the last version I had before. Like I don't have to renew it.
Well, I've been using Visual Studio
Man,
since
you are
Visual
a
Studio
teacher.
2008.
You are a teacher. Use your teacher perks.
I don't. I'm a part-timer.
You are a teacher, even if you are a part-time teacher, and you are a student. You are studying for your masters.
I am a student. Holy
Use
shit!
your,
Yes, I.
use your student perks. Everything
I'll
is
check it
cheaper when you're a student.
I'll check it out. I'll check it
You
out.
are a student listening to this. Everything is cheaper. Get everything.
Yes, on Apple
is free.
website, Microsoft website, GitHub website, so many perks you
So
get.
many things give you the
for
student
being a
pack.
student.
GitHub student pack.
Yeah.
Like this is like the best value for money.
You can
because
get
money
like
is deep.
$400 on Google Cloud if you're students for free. It's crazy, or something
Or if
like
you are a
that. Don't
teacher.
quote me. Or if you're a teacher.
If you're a teacher, no, this is GitHub. GitHub gives you the teacher. There is the teacher pack and there is the student pack.
Yeah.
And part of the teacher pack, they give you stickers to give to your students. They send it to you. Just pay shipping.
I need to take advantage of these because I haven't been taking advantage of them at all.
You should.
The only thing I've taken advantage of is my MacBook. I bought my M1 13-inch MacBook Pro for like $100 less on the education website because of my teacher. It was worth it. Yeah. I love my Mac. Oh my God, I love my Mac. So good.
Good. So,
yes.
Let's get back to topic and try to finalize because I have to leave in 10 minutes.
What was the topic? What were we talking about?
We're talking about productivity. So,
Dude,
this is why we're not productive.
Listen,
we get sidetracked, man. We get sidetracked easily.
Listen.
This is why we're not productive.
I've been learning ARM64 assembly because I am so sick and tired of Windows being absolute trash. All right, I'm making my own operating system. All right, it's gonna be completely useless, but I'm making it, and I'm done with Apple, Windows, and Linux.
Nice.
Fucking garbage.
I can't wait for it. Actually, I can't wait for it. Like, it's fine. I will wait. Take your time.
Dude, it is unbelievably... Okay, so here's what I found out, right? I'm sorry, we're getting sidetracked, but I need to say this. CPUs are open sourced for the most part until they give you documentation.
The instruction set, at least.
Yeah, the instruction set, right? You have your instruction set, you can look at them. GPUs are not. Why the fuck are GPUs are not open? You don't know the instruction sets. I don't understand. What's the issue? I think it's only AMD that do it, and everyone else is like, no, fuck you.
I'm not sure, but what is wrong with HLSL or GLSL? Your name.
There's nothing wrong with them, but if you want to write an operating system, you need to communicate with assembly.
But this is the thing, you communicate through drivers.
But you're writing the drivers, there's no driver. You
write the driver, but you are not writing the driver to run on the graphics card. You are writing the drivers to run on the CPU and communicate with the graphics card, right?
Yeah, but you don't know how the graphics card works, so how are you supposed to write the driver?
You check other open source drivers. This is the issue with Linux. They have been reverse engineering everything NVIDIA does.
That's the thing. You have to put in the time and effort and reverse engineer rather than have documentation.
People already reverse engineered it. And they already have some sort of documentation explaining how it works.
I understand. I get that. But the fact that you have to go through, someone has to go through the trouble of doing it is trash.
Yeah, I understand.
NVIDIA.
And this is why OS developers don't usually get paid. I was gonna say get paid much. They don't. Most of them work for free. But anyway, at least the guys working on Linux anyway. Okay.
Anyways, how to be productive. Yes.
How to be productive. Let's get back to this. Final words. What do you want to tell anyone who wants to start his path to productivity? Do you have a recommendation for a book? A recommendation for something?
No, I would say change your environment, get out of the house as much as possible. Don't listen to self-help books or how to be productive podcasts because it doesn't matter, man. It's useless. You're spending your time listening to shit you're not supposed to be listening to. You're supposed to be working. You're not supposed to be listening to how to be productive, okay? So change your environment as much as possible. Get out of the house with your laptop to go work, obviously. Make it as easy as humanly possible for you to start your task. Just what are the least amount of steps you need to do to start your task? Okay?
Eliminate distractions.
For example, eliminate distractions. Keep if what it takes to keep your computer on 24/7 and have your Visual Studio on without going through the trouble turning on your computer, sitting on a desk, waiting. If that's what it takes, do it, right? Whatever it takes to just get you started. Eliminate distractions. Try to stay in the zone and the flow. And most importantly, like what you're doing. If you don't like what you're doing, you're have problems.
This last part I'll disagree with. You don't have this cannot be your only motive because even if you like what you are doing,
true,
you are going to do things you hate about the things you love.
True.
Okay, you love game development, you love programming, and you love things. But as a programmer, you are going to be doing a lot of programming tasks that you hate. You are going to be going through bad legacy codes and have to maintain it, and sometimes you'll have to go against every thing inside of you and doing things backwards. I have to work in a very bad way because this is what the project is, right? Sometimes you're going to do this.
In that case, there's no magic pill. Just shut the fuck up, sit down, and do the work.
I disagree with other things as well. With what you say.
Okay,
I don't agree with going outside. Why go outside when you can make the inside much, much, much better? So what
don't
worked
get me
for
wrong.
me is changing the inside instead of changing the outside.
No, I agree with that. Have your home be fantastic, but also you're gonna get sick and tired of sitting at home all the time. Once in a while, try go outside.
Yes.
What happened?
I agree. I totally agree with going outside.
Yeah.
Okay. So I agree with everything except like try to make your working environment that you currently have as best as possible. Try to separate it from the rest of your distraction.
Yeah.
Put blocks in you going away from where you are and going to the kitchen. Like I have a tax I have to pay every time I go to the kitchen. Like I have a couple of dumbbells, and every time I go to the kitchen I have to do 2 sets. Like this is a tax. Like this is the kitchen tax.
That's cool. I like that. I'm gonna start doing that.
And recently I got a pull-up bar and I'm going to use it. I hanged it on the kitchen door. So I can't do pull-ups yet, but going through.
Sunlight. Get some sunlight into the room. I mean, anyway. All programmers, they like darkness. But yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. I think we are done for today.
All right.
Any final words?
All right. Lovely. See you guys next week. Follow the spiders.
And subscribe.
Subscribe. Definitely. All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.